Hey, everybody. I wanted to make this video and I teased it a little bit, but we're going to call it How to Make $2,500 in 2 minutes Using Privy. And the reason I wanted to make this video, we had a Privy webinar the other night, and I'll link to that somewhere around this video. But we talked about how to use Privy and how we can use it to find off-market properties that are good investment opportunities for fix and flips or landlords or whatever. So I was having a conversation with Jessica after that webinar, and we were talking about an instance where a $2,500 Birddog fee was made using Privy, and I'm going to let Jessica talk about that a little bit and maybe pull up Privy on the screen and talk about how you could use Privy just to be a bird dog for real estate investors in your market. So tell us about this story, Jessica.
All right. Hi, everyone. I told David, I just told David this one-on-one, and he's like, that's a great story. I'd love to share with everybody. So, of course, I want to help you guys get deals with Privy. So I wanted to share this strategy that maybe you didn't know about, because I didn't know about it. I didn't even know it was a thing. So I know, so I have a lot of contacts, and I'm always building relationships with investors, and someone that I know reached out to me and they're like, hey, I'm looking for deals in this area. So if you find anything, send them over. And if the deal closes, I'll pay you for it. And they said they're fine with it being on the MLS. And I'm like, all right, well, okay, I have Privy, so why not? I'll just see what's there after work. So, after work, I took like about an hour and I started looking for deals. And I just, changed the filter around to fit their buy box regarding the square footage. They prefer like a 3-bed, 2-bath. They don't want anything that's too much over 1,400 square feet because the flips can get more expensive. So they just gave me their specific buy box and I put it in the filter. And then I just did a search and I found a bunch of deals that fit their criteria. Some of them were newer on the market and some of them older. But the first deal that I found the first deal that I sent to them was 10 days on the market. And I didn't really put much time into it. I literally took 2 minutes on analyzing this deal. Because in Privy, the comps already are there automatically. So I didn't have to go to any other websites. I didn't have to use any calculator. I didn't have to use even any brain power. I literally just scrolled down and looked at the comps under the property. And there was one house that sold $100,000 more than the subject property. So I was like, okay, there's a comp, and it's also 2 stories and it's a similar style. So this looks like a deal. And it was literally that in 2 minutes. I sent him the property, and the next day he's like, hey, that one that you sent me, I put in an offer. And actually, his offer was $40,000 less than the listed price. So sometimes we have this like misconception that because it's on the MLS, like that's the set price. It's not. You can put in offers. You can put in an offer at, for $20,000. You could do whatever you want. They just reject the offer if they want, right?
Well, and the nice thing about this was you didn't have to put in an offer at all.
I
You
didn't do
just
anything.
send it to them, and you can and correct me if I'm wrong, but when you pull that up, you can send them that right out of Privy, correct? You can just
Yeah.
put their email in and send it away. So, for everybody watching, I want you to think about the power of that. Okay, if you were just to find 10 or 20 investors in your market that are buying properties all the time, and you had Privy, and you can go in and set up just a search criteria for each of them and name each search that investor's name, right? And it just automatically will notify you, correct, of properties that come on that meet that criteria. This many bedrooms, this price, this much profit, all the criteria set in there. And then you're just setting it up to where you can just email it to them, right? So you have that conversation with them. You say, hey, I've got this great software and I'm out looking for deals. And sometimes they're on market, sometimes they're off market or whatever. But, if I find a good deal for you, will you pay me a bird dog fee on that? Right. Or put it under contract and assign it. But if you don't want to go through all the negotiating and all the calculating of numbers and all the marketing and all that, just use Privy and do, like Jessica's describing here for us. So can you show us, can you pull up Privy and kind of, not on
Yeah.
that particular property, but just give somebody an example of how they would do that real quick?
Yeah, I can show you guys how to do it. And I do just want to say that he put in an offer at $40,000 less. And I was like, I don't know if they're going to take it. It's only 10 days on the market. So it's not like they're desperate yet. But they actually accepted the offer at $40,000 less and he got it under contract. And he said, because there are tenants there and there's going to be a long hold time on this one, he can't pay me that much on it, but he's going to send me $2,500. I wasn't even trying to do this. I don't even have a contract to like, made with him. There was nothing official talked about. It was just someone that I know. So this, I didn't even make it a side hustle or anything, but you guys can. I didn't
Yeah.
even realize that was a thing. And then I like looked on, I told David and he's like, oh, it's like a bird dog thing. And they're all over YouTube that you could do this, you could be a bird dog, which means that you're finding deals for investors without putting the deals under contract, which makes it a wholesale, but they'll still pay you on it. And in my case, because I'm working full time, like I don't have time to be like doing all the acquisition stuff and dealing with the headache and back and forth and renegotiating with agents and stuff like that. And this is just such like an easy shortcut where you could do a higher volume but still make a good amount of money. So yeah, I could show you guys in Privy, I guess pretty much like what I did,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you
Just
can
pull up and
replicate
pick
it.
up, grab a random city and just kind of show us, walk us through how you would do that. And I also, we had talked before we hopped on to do this video. And if you're in a city like, or a state like Oklahoma or Illinois or somewhere where they've passed a law where you need to be a licensed realtor to wholesale properties, this might be an alternative strategy for you, right? Just set up some kind of bird dog agreement with your buyers and just say, hey, I'll market for properties and I find your properties and you just pay me on it. And you go put it under contract and I don't want anything to do with it. So I'm going to let you share your screen. I'm going to switch this here for us so you can pop your screen up there anytime you need to.
Okay.
And yeah, so guys, this is a great business model. If you're, if I know a lot of people try to do like virtual driving for dollars, which is great, but if you're looking a way to kind of, slide into wholesaling without having to do, like I said, all the marketing, all the negotiating and talking to sellers and going and inspecting properties and all that, and you just want to find really good deals to send to a buyer, this is how you would do it.
Yeah. So this is Privy, and as we covered in the webinar the other day, um, we have these different coverages, but wherever we have the blue, we're direct to the MLS. So that's the most up-to-date live data. You would just click fix and flip, and then it shows you the investor activity areas. And I'm just gonna go into, I don't know, let's go into Philadelphia. So Philadelphia too, I don't know what every place has like different, standards with wholesaling and stuff like that. But what's great about this, you don't have to put anything under contract. So you could just find a deal and you could be working with an investor. And I'm going to an area that has a lot of investor activity because that means it's also going to have the most comps. So when you first zoom in, you're going to see sold properties. So you're going to click find similar active deals. Now, what you can do is go into the filters and let's say this investor flipper that you have this good relationship with that agreed to do a bird dog situation with you for on market deals. Let's just say they're looking you know, they want to be at 60% of the ARV. Probably in Philadelphia, you can even go lower. But the thing is that you don't want to go too low because you could always put in an offer, right? So
Right.
let's just say I'm going to put it at 65. So we know that what we're seeing is a deal. Let's just say they only want, actually, Philadelphia, the square footage is pretty massive for most of the houses. So I don't know if we need to cap it because a lot of them are like a townhouse style and they're over 2,000 square feet, which in other markets, you're not going to even get nearly that much square footage. But let's say we want to cap the price at 280, even though it'll likely be less than that, unless it's like a multifamily. So we're just going to run this search now. Again, I just want to show you guys, sorry, up here, single family attached, excuse me, single family attached, active deals means they're on the market, available for sale. And I put it at 65% because they want to be around 60, but you could still negotiate. So we don't want to miss any deals that we could put offers on. And then I just, you know, put the rest of their criteria here. There's a lot of other things you could do, but let's just go with the basics for now. And just like that, boom, with the click of a button, we got a deal. This came on the market 10 days ago. You would click this property open and then you could see, you can look at the photos. It looks like this is actually, is it renovated? No, but it looks decent. It's not
You said,
terrible. It's
yeah.
livable. Oh, well, this looks kind of renovated. So how can you know? For example, I don't know anything about Philadelphia, right? So I don't know if $129,000 is a good deal in Philly or not. So what I'm going to do is there's a section down here, comparables, and we're going to look at other properties in the area and what they sold for. So this is the subject property, 414 North Salford Street. And it is for sale at right here, 130,000. It's a 3-bed, 1-bath. So we can see that there's a property right now that was flipped, bought at 95K and sold at 230. So it was bought at 95K, sold at 230,000, and then 230,000 is $100,000 more than 130,000, which
Yeah.
is this property, right? The thing is, the green means it's active, means it's for sale. Nobody has bought it yet, so you cannot use it as an official. You cannot use it as an official comp yet. So that's something good to know. But here, this one is red, means it's sold, and it was sold at 220,000. It was sold in September 2023, which is not that long ago.
Right.
And you can see how everything lines up, right? The square footage is within a 15% delta, right? So it's not too different. It looks like they turn this from a 1-bath into a 3-bathroom. So you need to account for some of those things. It also looks like they even added a level onto it, which is interesting. But it was built in 1920. This one's 1925. I'm going to take a look at this because it says
And
the
the ARV at just under 60, so that's very
right.
similar as well.
Yeah, and so what, just so you know, when you look at the percentage of ARV in this column, what this means is that if this property, subject property, sells at this price of 220, that means this property is 59% of the ARV. So it's 59% of 220,000 if it sells at that. That's what it means, okay? It says that they added a level, which is a little interesting. Maybe the old records might have been wrong, so I'm just going to check it out. Because most of these houses are 2 levels to begin with.
Yeah, it could have been bad data. Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been bad public records. Um, so this is the property. Looks super nice. And
Yeah, very
so
clean.
Yeah, and you can see like, if you want to sell a property at this price, what kind of renovations it needs to look, what kind of renovations it needs to have, which is good for the fix and flipper to know for reference. But this is 2 stories and it's a 3 bed. Um, and here, oh, 3 bed, 3 baths. Okay, so you have 2 extra bathrooms. That's something to consider, right? Because if you don't have those 3 bathrooms, then your property might sell for less. The build time is around the same, but we can keep looking, right? You can even click this here, price. Oops. So you can click price and then it'll like put them in order. So the highest price at the top. There's one, so they're trying to sell them pretty high. They're not sold yet. We have 295, 255. Oh, look, this one sold for 245,000. This was in July, so it was like a little bit more long ago, but it looks like they also turned this into a 3 bath where ours is a 1 bath. But
Hmm.
we can also take a look at this. Okay. And I mean, it's renovated, but they don't even have a ton of photos or anything. So, anyways, the point is just with a click, like a few clicks, right? We can
Yeah.
see that the ballpark is that the subject property is about $100,000 less than some potential comps, right? So, what does that mean? It means this is a deal and it doesn't even require a lot of work, right? David, you have anything to say about that?
Well, I'm thinking about what you had mentioned about, about building relationships, right? And when you're coming into this business, and real estate is a relationship business, you want to, form that connection with the cash buyers in your area. So, you might be out doing other marketing methods and, driving for dollars or sending mail or putting up bandit signs or whatever. But if you can instantly start sending potential deals to your buyers, that makes you more valuable, right? And if you can work out a bird dog fee, even better, right? But if because everybody says, hey, I'm a wholesaler, hop on my cash buyers list and I'll send you deals. But the problem with most wholesalers is they get 100 people to sign up to their cash buyer list, or 200, or whatever the number, and then they never send them anything, right? Because they might find one deal a month, and send it to somebody and get it sold or whatever. So the other 99 people on your list, or other 199 people, don't get anything from you. So if you can do something like this with Privy, and work out some bird dog arrangements, or however you want to do it, and send them stuff on a regular basis, go in, set up a criteria or a search box for each of your buyers, and send them these as they show up. Hey, I thought you might be interested in this one. Hey, this is a great one for you. It matches your criteria, whatever. Then they're going to see you as very valuable to their business.
Yeah,
Right. That's
totally.
where my head's on it. So when you told me the story, I thought, for people trying to break into this, because we've got all these great tools out there, and people are busting their butt out, trying to find the first deal. Privy really finds them for you if you plug in the right numbers and the right criteria.
Right. And then I do just want to show you guys like what I did. So in Privy, it has this feature where you can click share. And then you just put in the email address of the investor that you're working with to send the deal to. You just put in their email. You could CC yourself or BCC yourself if you want to. What I did, I don't know, I took this paragraph out. What I think I'm going to do, if I do that again, I would put the address here just so you have like a CC'd email with the exact address that you sent
Right.
them and you have like a record of it.
Mm.
That's probably what I would do. And then that's how you share it with them. And then the other thing too is you can go here to manage lists, and you could basically create a folder, right? So you could say sent to Mike. Let's say the investor's name is Mike. And look, I'm not like a pro. I don't have like some strategy down. This was like some one-off thing that someone was like, just if you send me a deal, and I was like, all right, I'll just see what's there. But you know, try to organize yourself if you're going to be doing this on like a full-time basis or like a higher volume. You can make a folder and say sent to Mike or whoever the investor is. And if you want to put a description, you could put active deals, click that. You can give the folder a color, and then you can click save. So then you can do save here. And then basically this property, you can do manage lists. Let's say you're going to send them this deal, and then you could click send to Mike, and it'll put the property into that folder. And then that way you also have a folder that is a record of all the properties that you sent to that investor that you're working with.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, you know, like Jess said, this isn't laid out. This isn't like a full business plan. It's just to give you, you know, an idea of what you could do with the software, right? You know, it would just make it easier to attract strong buyers if you're sending them deals all the time with something like this. So, you know, I wanted to make this video food for thought, right? You know, this is just another way to get properties and get them in front of potential buyers.
Yep. And again, this is, you know, you could just go down the list and find more properties for them. And just so you know, when you see the seal here, that means that it should have some good comps, which other ones might too. But, you know, if you go here again to the comparables section, there's so much activity in Philadelphia that you'll
Yes, a lot.
definitely, it's really active. But a lot of them are for sale and not sold, right? Um, However, you know, again, I like to click this price button, and then I think I had to click it twice, right? Was it twice or once? Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to help you make this easy. Okay, once, I guess. So if you get the highest numbers at the top, because you're ultimately going to be looking for the highest numbers, this is red. And this is a sold property at 220,000. I think it might have been one of the ones we saw before. But if this property sells at 220,000, that means this deal is 36% of the ARV.
That one is sold. It's red.
This is sold red already for
Yeah.
220. But if you sell this subject property that's 80,000 for
The subject. Yeah.
220,000, that means this subject property is 36% of the ARV.
Right.
That's what that means. And you know, just so you see too, when you click these comps, just to take like a quick glance at it, you don't need to work out. Yeah, this is the one we saw before. So you don't need to do like all these numbers or crazy stuff. But you can see that this fix and flipper, they bought this property at 125,000. They sold it for 220,000. They had a gross profit of 95,000. And so they bought it at 57% of the ARV. The
Yeah.
construction time, hold time, days on market is here, but you barely need to know anything. The subject property we're looking at is not even 57% of the ARV. If it sells at this price, it's going to be, what was it, 30 something percent, right?
Yeah.
It was going to be 36% of the ARV. Would an investor be happy with you sending them a deal that's 36% of the ARV? Absolutely.
I think they would.
Yeah.
Every investor I know would be happy with that deal.
Are they going to be like, oh, it's on the MLS? You need to have this conversation with them ahead of time, right? And just be like, do you want to work out something like this? Even if they're on market, I could find you deals that are on the market. How much easier is that for an investor? They don't have to call anyone, they don't have to bother a seller. Like, they already want to sell their house. It's on the MLS
Yeah.
and it's super discounted. And it's been sitting there for 24 days now. Someone needs to scoop this up, you know?
Yeah. No, I think it's great. And like I said, when you told me about it, I said I think that will be very, very helpful for people, you know, to, you know, consider doing that, you know, as a marketing method for their investors. So I'm going to link to our full length demo video So if you guys want to watch that, if you want to try out Privy, I'm going to have the link, my affiliate link for Privy. If you sign up, let's go try to hit these numbers, right, Jessica? If you sign up for monthly, you get 20% off.
20% off. Yeah.
20% off. If you sign up for yearly, it's some crazy wacky number they have, but it's like 20 plus 30.
Yeah. Well,
It's a great deal. I'll just say that.
yeah. So it's basically, let me show you guys real quick.
All right.
So just so you know where to go. So if you put in, it's privy.pro.
I'm going to give him
And
my link. I'm going to give
okay,
him, yeah,
he's
I'm going to
gonna
give him.
he's gonna make sure you use David's link, because also his code, you have to put toolbox in the promo code section. Otherwise, you're not going to get the discount. So make sure you click his link and put his promo code. You're gonna get Privy, right? So we have two options. You can go to monthly or you can go to annually.
Let's hear your screen
If
again.
you do the annual, you're gonna get with his promo code a smoking deal. Okay. Not only is it just this regular 20% off the year, but you're gonna get, I don't know why I went like that, but not just 20% off. It's an additional 30% off the 20% off. So usually if you would do 149 a month for the year, it comes out to like 1700 something. But we're doing a deal for you guys where it brings it down all the way to 1,000 for the whole entire year. And again, if you don't want to pay up front for the year, then you can do the monthly and get 20% off your first month. So instead of 149, it comes out to 119. And either way, I mean, you get one deal, it covers the cost of everything. And I literally just got a deal by accident in like 2 minutes. So, you should definitely try it out.
You should definitely try it out, guys. So, Jess, thanks for hopping on here and doing this with me. I wanted to keep it short so everybody would take the time to watch it. But guys, try this technique, right? If you've got buyers or you want to start attracting buyers, right? Get into your local Facebook groups and say, hey, who's looking for deals, right? Who are the investors in here looking for deals? Get them in a private chat and just say, hey, if I, go out and bird dog stuff for you on and off market, do you want to work something out where you pay me on them and start building that relationship? So
I have one more tip I didn't
one more
share. I
tip.
forgot.
Lay it on
There
us.
was one deal that I found where the house itself that's for sale was not a deal. The comps didn't show it to be good enough, but I saw in the photo the house next to it in the photo looks so run down, and it had the number of the house right there. So I told the investor, I was like, "Hey, the property's not for sale." It was the one in the picture next to it that actually looks like a dump. So I looked up the address and I actually found the owner's phone number just because like I'm trying to get more familiar with the process too.
Right.
But that's huge because then they have even another house that they could potentially buy that wasn't even
Right.
on market.
Side by
So
side deals.
side by side. So
Yeah.
keep a lookout in these photos, especially with these attached properties, because the ones next to them might actually look really bad. And it turned out they bought that property like 20 years ago for $9,000. So that's a perfect property to go after.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Plenty of
Mhm.
equity. Right.
Yep.
So, yeah, guys, check it out. Hit the link, check out Privy and comment on this video and let us know what you thought of it. All right. Give
And if
us
you
your,
have questions, he'll send them to me and I'll
any
answer.
questions we'll answer. Okay. Thanks, Jessica.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.